Hi there everybody! Today I'm going to teach you how to make these DIY glitter faux leather holiday hair bows and hairbands. So the templates are completely free. I have a variety of them on my blog. You can grab them via the link below in the video description. We also have supplies which are linked below in the video description, so if you don't know where to get all of these supplies that we're about to go over, then you can visit that link below.
Well, hey there everybody. So like I just said a moment in our introductions, we're going to be making these adorable little faux leather canvas glitter bows. Let me review the supplies you're going to need for this project. First, I want to say you can absolutely use a cutting machine or you can cut by hand with scissors. So don't worry about if you don't own a cutting machine or if you do own one, you can absolutely use this as well. There's SVG cut files and printable PDFs included. I have lots of different variations of these bow templates on my blog. They are completely free. You can find the link below in the video description. The supplies you're going to need for this project is going to be your faux glitter leather. It's also known as glitter canvas because it has a canvas backing typically. You're going to need it in any choice colors that you would like to use. So I'm going with sort of a Christmas theme arrangement here of bows. You're going to then want to decide, do you want it to be a hair clip or do you want it to be on a headband? I'm going to show you both ways. So you can pick out just some plain headbands or some alligator clips that you can pick up online or in stores. I have resources for all of these supplies below in the video description and on the blog, so don't worry if you don't know where to get them, I've got you covered. Also, if you are using a cutting machine, you can use some heat transfer glitter vinyl, and we're going to be adding that to the back side of these bows to make it double-sided, which is going to add a extra pretty two-tone effect to the bows. So that's optional, and that's if you're using a cutting machine. If you're not, you can absolutely still just use a pair of scissors and you can just skip that step altogether. You're going to need a glue gun as well in order to glue these together. And if you're doing the heat transfer vinyl with a Cricut or similar machine, you're also going to want an easy press like the Easy Press Mini or the full Easy Press, which is what I will be using in the video here. Either will work though, and you can do both. If you're using a Cricut machine, you're also going to want to have a strong grip mat to cut out this canvas glitter material, and you'll also want to have some painter's tape. If you're not sure how to cut a material like this out on your Cricut machine and you've never done it before, make sure you visit the link in the video description below, and if you're in that blog post, you'll find all that information that you need for working with this type of material. So that is the basic supplies you're going to need. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be showing you how to build this really cute headband here. I'm also going to be showing you how to make these reindeer clips as well as this snowflake clip here, and there's templates for all of these on the blog. So let's get started. I am going to be showing you a technique of covering the blank white side of your faux leather, your glitter faux leather or your glitter canvas, so that it is two-sided and you get a really pretty underside effect for your bow. A lot of times when we make these bows, you'll see the white underside just a little bit, and it's not that big of a deal, but if you want it to be two-toned and you want to have a pretty colored underside or a glitter underside as well, this is the way to do it. So like I said, I'm going to be using this heat transfer vinyl. I've already cut this out on my Cricut machine. I just mirrored it to be the back side of this bow template that it's going to line up perfectly. You can do this on some of your pieces, all of your pieces. You don't have to do this step at all if you don't want to. I'm just showing you this technique because it's really fun and it's a great way to add some extra color. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to place this straight down and just get it lined up really quickly here. And I have my Easy Press here. You can use the Easy Press 1, 2, or the Mini. I have my regular Easy Press right here, and I have it set at 280 for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna put this right on top there, and I'm gonna hit the button and let it just transfer for 30 seconds. Just apply some light pressure. Okay, when it's done, it's gonna be warm, so be careful, don't burn yourself. You might need to give it 30 seconds to a minute to cool. It should lift off effortlessly. If it doesn't, then you need to let it cool all the way, or you might need to apply it for another 10 seconds, then let it cool. So just be aware of that, but mine is coming off just fine here. So I removed that liner, and now it is double-sided, which means our bows are gonna look really pretty no matter what angle we're looking at them. So I'm gonna start with this bow here. Let me move my mat out of the way. And I have a little centerpiece here, a base piece. This is sort of the piece that's going to be sandwiched between the top and this base piece, and then I have the actual bow ribbon part here. We're going to start with this, And I have my glue gun here, which is what you're gonna need. You can use like a fabric glue or a tack glue. I recommend a glue gun just because it dries quickly and you can move on to the next step without having to hold or wait for a long period of time. So I'm gonna begin by adding a dot of glue to the tip of one and folding it in here, just like that. I'm gonna repeat the process on the other side. You're gonna wanna hold this firmly until dry. So that's one reason why using hot glue is preferred, because you only have to hold it for about 30 seconds and then you're all set. So there is our ribbon part of our bow, and you can see that underside sparkling there when you turn it at an angle, which makes the bow look really pretty. The next step here is going to be to add this little centerpiece over the top, because we're going to start gluing this onto these two other pieces, and trying to add this over that once it's on this is going to be really difficult. So we're going to add this straight over the top, and I just put a little glue right in the center to get it started. And then flip it over and add a little glue here. Close that up, just like that. Next, I'm going to add some glue to the center of this red piece here. Like I said, there's so many different ways you could layer these and combine the templates in multiple different ways, so have fun with it. I'm going to show you a few other variations in this video just to give you some inspiration. So there's that piece, just a touch. There we go. And now I'm going to add it on top of this green piece here. And there is our bow. Now to add it to the headband, we're going to glue it directly on, and then we're going to reinforce it with an extra piece of this glitter canvas leather on the bottom side of it. So I'm going to trim that out next. So I have just a complimentary little rectangle piece here of this glitter canvas. I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and I'm going to decide on the placement of my bow. I usually like to put it directly on the side here, so that's what I'm going to start with, is just adding some glue right along the headband and placing it and holding it for a moment. I recommend making sure you're holding this until dry so that nothing slides down the headband and you don't lose your preferred placement. The final step is going to be to glue this onto the back, and I'm going to trim this down just a little more because it's still a little big. Just like that. And now I'm going to add some glue, and I'm just going to place this straight over. Okay, there we go. So now that's good and reinforced. You can't see any of that from the underside, but it looks nice and seamless now. And your headband is completely done. This is super fun and festive for the holidays, but of course you can make them any time of the year. And my daughter absolutely loves her bows, so she has been oohing and ahhing over all these bows I have been creating. I'm going to show you next how to make a couple of different variations with some clips. As you can see here, I have some clip versions where I've made just some very simple combinations of bows here. And I'm also going to show you a few other versions. So I have in the templates, you will see some snowflakes, and you will also see some reindeer ears. So I'm going to show you how to make two clips, one with reindeer ears and one with sort of a snowflake theme added to it. So we're going to build those next, and then I'm going to put them onto a simple alligator clip like this, which you can find online and at craft stores. I recommend them being between 2 and 3 inches for best results, because you want to make sure that you have plenty of space to place your bow on, as well as that it's long enough to, put in the back of somebody's hair because this is more meant to be a primary bow for someone's hair, not like an accent piece at the top of their head, something sort of towards the back that you might do like a half up style with and then clip this into. So you want it to be long enough and big enough to be able to support a decent amount of hair. All right, so first I've cut out my templates. Of course, you can use your Cricut machine or you can cut by hand like I've mentioned, and all of these templates are free on the blog once again. And I'm gonna I've cut 2 sets of antlers here, and I'm going to glue these back to back. You could definitely use the heat transfer vinyl method like I just showed you, but for the antlers, I like them to be a little more sturdy, so I like gluing these back to back. I'm gonna use my glue gun to add just a thin bit of glue and place that right on top, just like that. And you want to repeat that, of course, for the other side. Okay, so we have our little antlers all ready to go there, and then I'm going to do my bow. So for this one, I'm going to bring this in, and you could do sort of a glitter heat transfer on the back of this like we talked about. I'm not going to do it on this one, just so you can see that, you know, it still works just fine either way. Plus this bow is a lot smaller, so it's harder to sometimes even see the white when they're smaller, as opposed to a bigger bow like we just made on the headband. I'm gonna add this piece over next. Like that, and then I'm going to layer this on top of this piece, and then place this one on top of this. Next, I'm going to attach the little antlers here to the bow. So I'm just gonna glue a little bit right at the base here. And I'm gonna glue them while looking from the top, because I wanna make sure it's gonna look like I want it to, as opposed to holding it this way and then not being sure how it looks at the top here. So I'm gonna do that, repeat on the other side. So now we have the back side here, and now we need to attach the clip. So to attach the clip, I'm going to add some glue first and place it straight down. You don't want to go crazy on the glue, but you want to still be generous. Don't be too sparing or anything like that. Place it right squarely in the center there. You don't want the clip hanging off the end to where you're able to see it or anything like that from the top. You want it to be squarely in the center. And there we go. There is our little reindeer antler clip. I think that's super cute for Christmas. I'm gonna put this in my daughter's hair. I think she's gonna love it. All right, so for the snowflake bow, I'm going to use the heat transfer vinyl technique that I showed you with the first one, because this is a larger bow and you might be more prone to see the white. So I'm going to iron this on. I've made this a complementary frosty blue, and I'm going to do the same thing for this piece as well. That's the painter's tape left over there. So I've cut out a complementary frosty blue here in glitter heat transfer for the back side. I'm going to place this on, get it lined up there. Like I said before, you might want to let this cool for just a couple of seconds before lifting the liner. Peel the liner back, and now we have a double-sided piece of material there. All right, so let me get this mat out of the way. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these in and add a little bit of hot glue right to the center. All right, so the next step is going to be to decide how I want to place my layers. So I know I want this to be on top, and I've decided that I want this pretty snowflake piece to go right in between the bow and the base piece, something like that. So in order to stack it like this, I need to go ahead and I need to add this center finishing piece first. There we go. You can see our little peekaboo glitter on the inside there, looks really pretty. And the next step is going to be to glue this on top of the base of the bow. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And now I'm going to place this right on top there. Place that right down in the center there. And there is our bow. Now you could go ahead and add this onto the headband like I showed you, or you could add it onto the clip like we just did with the little Rudolph bow here. And I'm going to choose a clip, so I'm going to add a generous amount of glue. All right, so there we go. We have our really pretty snowflake bow all finished, ready to be used and to clipped into somebody's hair. I think this is going to be my daughter's favorite. In fact, I have no doubt of it. She loves all things Frozen and Elsa and Anna, so this kind of goes with that theme.
There are tons of different combinations of these templates that you can do, and don't be afraid to play around with patterns and styles. Make sure you grab these templates for free on my blog. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.